What's up, YouTube fam? Alright, so by the title of this video, y'all understand that I'm talking specifically to men that feel lost. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little experiment over the next year of my life. You see, a little prior knowledge about who I am. Um, my friends call me Nemo. Um, there's so much to say that it's hard to choose where to start. But the thing is this. A lot of us feel lost. We feel like we're doing things for no reason. We don't really have a purpose. We don't really have a goal. And it ends up sucking the joy out of everything. And then it leaves us not knowing which direction to go. And even when you choose a direction, you have no clue why you're even walking in that direction. Because you don't have... you haven't built these goals, these markers, like things that you know I want to achieve, and so on and so on. Now me, I was hit hard a couple of years ago, about 5 years ago. I was diagnosed with a serious mental health issue, and that led me down this roller coaster of pretty much not being able to sustain myself. Over the years, I got on medication, I did what I had to do, and I've started to get better. The last 2 years, I've been doing a lot better, but a lot of those bad habits that were formed during the 3 years that I was suffering from these mental issues severely stuck, and it made me have no a drive to do anything. And because of that, it led me to working very little, making close to no money, to the point that I ended up being homeless. Like right now, this is my first video, and I am videoing this video in a homeless shelter. And this was, you know, it was pretty bad in the beginning, but ultimately I have something pretty good going on for me right now, being that I'm not on the street. My mother was also homeless because she was disabled and couldn't work, and I wasn't fulfilling my duty to take care of her because I was mentally ill, and I wasn't able to supply the income to be able to take care of her. So when I became homeless, I took her and went into a family shelter. So now we have a room for both of us. And what I decided to do is to stop thinking about doing things for these external reasons. And technically I am doing it for external reasons, but like some guys say, oh, well, I don't have a wife, so what's the point of doing anything? Who am I doing it for? Blah, blah, blah. Do it for yourself, right? So now the experiment that I'm going to go under, all right, also, before I go into the experiment, I was working out and I was being quite successful. In about a year, I was able to get my deadlift to 405. I was able to get my squat to 365. And my bench to 225, my overhead press to 110, 120, around there, and 4 reps, right? And I was doing pretty good, but the mixture of mental health issues and everything, I ended up getting an injury. I ended up getting out of the gym, and I spent a year and a half working little to no hours, not working out. Completely lost what I gained while I was working out. But this year, I decided that I'm going to hit things full force. I'm going to triple the amount of time that I spend working. And mind you, I worked very little before. Until recently, I was only working 8 hours a week. But I am planning on trying to work 30 hours a week. And the way that my job works, I'm allowed to choose how many hours I work. So I'm going to work at the maximum amount that I possibly can with the limitations that I have at the moment. My goal is to work more than 30 hours. I would like to work 50 hours a week. But that's not possible at the moment because being in a homeless shelter, you have a curfew. There's a lot of situations that just stop me from being able to do that, like physically stops me from doing it. But I want you guys to go along on a ride with me over the next year. And I want to see what happens over this year when I change my mindset. And I'm going to be posting videos at least once a week to let you know where I'm at, what I'm doing, and showing you guys what I'm doing, like my workout, my meals, my work habits, how much I'm actually making with the job that I got. Like right now with working 8 hours a week, I make about $800 a week. So logically speaking, if I work triple that, then I should make triple that, right? So I should be able to make 2,400 a week, a month. Oops, no, not 800 a week, 800 a month. But if I triple that, if instead of 8 hours I work 30 hours, then I should triple that, and from 800 a month, I should make 24K. Let me see, 16. Yep, 24K a month, and that's a reasonable. That's a reasonable pay for only working 30 hours, right? And what my idea is that if I start going hard at work and put in those 30 hours every week, and I save all my money, by this time next year, I should have an apartment, and I should be in a position to be able to work more hours on top of that, right? Because if I work 50 hours a week, then I should be getting close to 4,500 a month. And that's a reasonable pay. That's what, I think it's about 55, 57K a year, somewhere around there. Give or take, because, every week you make a little bit different, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on certain things that happen. You might make less if the weather is bad and you can't go to work, you miss a day, blah, blah, blah. Things happen, right? But right now, my intention is to get to that 30 hours a week mark, and increase the amount of money that I'm making. If I'm working 30 hours a week, that means that I'm only working about 4 hours a day. Let me see. 4, 8, 16, 24. Now, I would have to work 5 hours a day to make 30, and 6 days a week. So that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. And I'm going to try my hardest. But there are things in the way that might prevent me from completing that 5 hours a day. Because my job relies on the battery I have on like a tool that I use. So if my battery only lasts 4 hours, once that battery dies, I can't work anymore. Now, I'm not going to get into too much detail because I don't want to expose everything, right? This is just for all of you that feel like there's something wrong and you don't know what to do. Stop thinking about making money because of somebody else or because of this and that. Forget all that. Make money because it's going to make your life better. The more money you have, the easier it is going to be for you to live. And the more things you can bring into your life that bring you joy. something that I really want is a personal gym in my own home. I want to create a gym where I can do all the exercises that I love right at home, so that I don't have to spend money on an expensive gym, and I don't have to share equipment with people. I don't have to deal with people. I could just do it all at home. And I want to see that happen. I want to have that by next year. It might take an extra month or two, but I'm hoping that this time next year I accomplish that. So that's kind of the basis of what this channel is going to be. It's going to be me talking about forcing yourself, getting out of the rut, getting out of your head, getting out of all of the negativity and all of the lack of motivation and all the stuff that holds you back. Like, this is a new year, and I'm going to go hard, and that's final. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I'm going to start working as much as I can, making as much money as I can, saving as much as I can, try to spend as least as possible, so that when I move out, I have enough money to get an apartment, set up all of my utilities, furnish my house, and have at least $10K as savings for an emergency, right? So I'm gonna go hard. And for you that finds this video, you might be in a better position than me, or you might be in a worse position than me. But if you follow me through this process, and as I'm talking about the things that I'm doing and why I'm doing them, and you either copy what I'm doing, or you develop your own style. Like, you take the principles that I'm using and develop your own thing, but still basics are still there, where you're forcing yourself to be motivated. You're forcing yourself to work a little more. Not necessarily harder, just longer. Work a little longer and you get more pay. And going out while you're working, when you have time off, seeking out other job opportunities that will hopefully put you in a position to make more money than what you was making before, and constantly trying to progress and get better. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be dedicating all this time to work. When I'm not working, I'm going to be working out. Being that I specifically do powerlifting, I can't work out every day. So I'm probably going to work out 3 days a week, and I'm going to show you guys that. I'm going to show you what I used to do, what I'm able to do now, and I'm going to show you the progress that I get over the next couple of months. It usually takes me about 2 to 3 months to get back in the swing of things, muscle memory and all that. So I should be able to get my strength back, get my physique back, and actually, just so that you guys see a reference, I'm going to put a picture of myself somewhere around here of what I look like right now. And as I go into the future, I'm probably only going to post pictures of myself like once every 2 or 3 months. Once every 2 to 3 months, because month to month you don't really see that much difference, but a 3-month span you'll see a big difference. I'm also going to be working out. Right now I'm 207 pounds at about 25% body fat. I'm going to be trying to get to 15% body fat, and I'll gauge that by revealing my abs. Once I can see my abs, I know that I'm at 15% body fat or less, and at that point it's just maintenance from there on. So I'm going to be going hard on that. And since I can't work out every day, I have to fill up the time. I can't become lazy, because laziness is like, It's like addictive. If you take a lazy day today, you're more likely to take a lazy day tomorrow. So what you end up needing to do is fill up your time with things that are ultimately going to be beneficial for your life and for your future. So when I'm not working, I'm going to be working out. And if I'm not working and I'm not working out, then I'm going to be studying. And something about me is that during this time, since I've had so much time off and I was working on myself because of my mental health, I was trying to figure out a way to fix my mind pretty much. I started studying everything that I can think of that involved the human experience. So I went into philosophy, psychology, sociology, theology, and I started doing all of these things so that I can make myself a well-rounded intellectual, and that I can understand the mind, the human experience, the way we interact with the world, relationships, how we exist, pretty much, right? So I'm going to be going into a lot of that type of stuff as well, but not as much unless you ask for it. If you tell me, what do you think about this particular philosophy or this particular thing, I'll make a video on it and I'll explain what my thoughts are on it. But there is a lot of gems that I've picked up along the way that I'm going to be releasing soon. I'm probably going to make a video right after this. Today is going to be raining. I can't work. So I'm going to release a couple of videos, but this is sort of my initial video just to let you know what I'm about, what I'm trying to accomplish, and I want to have like my process documented. 1 year of working hard, working out hard, studying hard, and going back to my old interests. I'm going to be spending some time on my arts because I really loved art and I sort of lost all interest in everything. But I really enjoyed drawing, sketching, painting, sculpting, and making music. So I'm going to be doing everything that I'm capable of, everything that I'm allowed to do in this room, because some things I'm just not allowed to bring in, I'm not allowed to do. So like my ukulele, I can't bring it in, so that's just not something I'm going to be able to do. But if everything goes well, by next year, I'll have my own apartment and I'll be able to play my ukulele again. And I'll be able to do all these things that I want to do. And then as I progress, y'all gonna be able to see my progression and see the steps I took and see what I decided to hone in on and what I decided to leave behind. And then you can copy those movements so that you can do the same for yourself, right? So I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to make some other videos talking about some basic stuff. So if you are interested in what I'm talking about and what I talked about in this video, go to the video library and look at the very next video. Because in the very next video, right, that I post right after this one, I'm going to be talking about the straight line from experience to action. And I'm gonna go. So this concept of a straight line between experience and action is talking about what leads you to act the way you do, right? So the main purpose of that video is going to be to show you what are the mechanisms, what type of gears are moving around in your head that cause you to behave the way you do. And then teaching you how to recognize whether that behavior is ultimately beneficial for you or detrimental to you. And if you guys, like, this is, my channel is mainly going to be for men that want to be better. that want to progress and want to become their best selves that they can possibly be, and live their best life that they can possibly live. I don't subscribe to red pill or blue pill or none of that. So if you want me to talk about 304s and stuff, like this ain't the place. That's just I don't know. It's a waste of time. It's a complete and total waste of time. I'm not gonna waste my time talking about some promiscuous girls' habits. Like I don't care. If they want to do that, let them. If they don't, let them. Neither is good or bad. It is just personal choices. If you don't like that type of thing, then just don't go for girls that are like that. Right? There's a whole bunch of girls. Choose the one that you like. I'm not gonna. Let me digress. Point is, I'm not gonna get into the things that distract you. I might touch on certain subjects, but I'm gonna try to keep those types of things to a minimum, because they ultimately distract you from the ultimate goal, which is progressing and getting to a point where you actually need to be self-sufficient, to be able to pay all your bills, do everything you want to do, and save money for your future. So, right now, I'm making barely any money. My goal is to make significantly more money, and by next year, when I'm in my apartment, start working even more. And my goal by then, my long-term goal, is to get to 60K a year. So once I'm at 60K a year, I'll be solid. And then from there, I can start doing some stuff, right? Maybe take some money, start a little company, try to make some extra odds and ends. Once I get to 60K, I'm not going to stop there. My next goal is 80K. And then after that, my next goal is 100K, right? I'm not going to stop trying to progress. And then now getting to 100K a year might take 5 years, but it might take 3. We don't know. But if I choose to be with no motivation and do nothing, then I'm never gonna get there. So you got to start somewhere. So if you're feeling lost, I'm going to be disclosing all of the information that I've picked up from psychology and philosophy, and disclosing all the information that I've picked up about sociology and how people work. And this is not a main thing on my channel, but I probably will touch on theology, just spirituality in general, because humans are very spiritual. And I don't mean that in a woo-woo type of way. The reality is the vast majority of people on earth are religious to some extent. Even the most unreligious person most likely believes in some sort of God or spiritual practice or some sort of spiritual belief, right? So in order to understand yourself and understand other people, you still need to understand those components. And if you want to be completely unspiritual, that's fine as well. But I'm going to be talking about what I do and what I believe and how I work and how most people work. And if you want to just delete that part and be completely atheist, no spiritual practices. By the way, you could be atheist and still have a spiritual practice. Like, you could still meditate and do certain spiritual things without believing in God. But that's neither here nor there. Point is, I'm going to be talking about all these things so that I could give you resources and information on how to grow as a person. I'm going to be talking about all the things that I do. Read my description. My description says it all. It's going to tell you what types of topics I'm really going to be talking about when it comes to the intellectual side of a man, the physical side of a man, and the spiritual side of a man. I'm going to be talking. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about mental health, but I might touch some topics on it. I don't want to be too forward on that because That's tricky. You know, what works for me might not work for you. I don't want to give you advice and then have you, you know, go into a spiral or blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, this video was just me introducing myself to y'all and letting you know what I've been through the past couple of years and where I'm at right now. And I'm starting from bottom. I'm starting from making hardly any money, being homeless, and I'm going to work. I'm going to start working triple the amount of hours that I currently work. So I'm going to triple the amount of hours I work. I'm going to work out intensely 3 times a week. Once you start seeing my physique change, I'll let you know what I'm doing, what exactly I'm doing, because I can't go too in depth, but how do I say that? All right, let's just say this, like I'm not doing this completely holistic. Like I am on TRT. So the way my physique is gonna change might take longer for you if you decide to do it without TRT. But ultimately, you can accomplish everything that I'm gonna accomplish without taking TRT. It'll just take you a little bit longer. Like if like to build an amazing physique takes me 3 years, it'll probably take you 5. You can hit the same numbers that I hit. You can get the same physique that I hit, but it's gonna take you a few years extra, unless I go up the scale on dosaging, right? And now once I start taking extreme dosages, not that I'm saying that I will, but once that happens, then it's going to be very difficult for you to accomplish what I accomplish, because at that point I'm enhanced. But right now it's just TRT, so I'm not planning on that, but it seems to work for some people, but whatever. Point is, I'm going to be going into everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm eating, exactly what movements I'm doing when I work out. I'm going to be giving y'all my workout plan, my calories and macros and all of that type of stuff. All right, that's my cue to leave. I'll talk to y'all later, bro.